Hello, I'm Terry Woodhams with Let's Be Artful, and I am in the Common Canvas YouTube collaboration, and we are given challenges by Jeannie Taylor with Jeannie's palette, and this challenge is a limited paint palette. So we are only given the primary colors, that's red, yellow, and blue. I had to check and make sure I said that right, plus black and white. And so we can do any kind of color mixing, but we have to use only those colors. And if you didn't know already, you probably already know that the colors red, yellow, and blue, these are the colors that you cannot mix any other colors to make these colors. These are the primary basic colors. You can make any colors out of these colors. So that's what primary colors are. You probably already learned that in elementary school if you had art class. Anyways, okay, so I got my, I don't have my black on here yet because I don't want to accidentally bump into it. I do that. That's a trick for when you do kids' paint parties. Don't give them the black first. Wait till later. And so I'm doing that with myself. So just in case I bump into it or something. Black and white we'll be using to either lighten or darken colors and to make the different shades. So let's see here. I have not painted this little guy yet. This is my little winter penguin. He's going to be holding a little snowflake there, and this is in my Painting Tracers to Go group. This is a design in there in my membership group that I have. I've got over 200 paintings or tracers in there for other people to use for their paint parties. So if you're interested in knowing a little bit more about that, then give me a message. So let's get started. I usually always start with my background first. And if I'm doing a kids paint party, that's usually what I tell them. Try to encourage them to do their background and then just let them have at it. Let them just go for it. I don't give them too much instruction here. Okay, so I'm thinking I want my background not so dark of a blue. I'm actually using all apple barrel paints. This is a cobalt hue. So let's mix a lighter blue. Okay, so I'm going to pull out. It's a little trick here when you're mixing. Oh, I'm using acrylic paint, by the way, if you haven't figured that out. I'm going to pull out a little bit of my white, just so I don't, mix too much of the color I'm trying to do here. That's kind of a challenge there. Sometimes we mix a little bit too much, more than we need. So just do a little bit. We can always add to it. So I just kind of did a 50-50 blue and white here off to the side. And, just get kind of a lighter blue here. Whatever you feel you like. Just kind of play around with it. If I wanted this to turn us a little bit teal, maybe I'll add a little bit of yellow to it. Let's just see what happens when we do. Let's pull a little bit of this to the side and just pull a little bit of yellow. Let's just see what happens. Ooh, that might not get what we really like. Might get more of a green, actually. I'm not an expert at this, so I'm just kind of flying by the seat of my pants and going by what I kind of remember from years ago. That kind of made a weird color. I don't like that. Okay. Anyways, a lot of it is experimentation, so just kind of see what you get. Okay, so I do want a lighter blue. I was trying to go for a teal there, but I guess that wasn't going to work out with. And sometimes if you're wondering why you're not getting the right shade that you want, sometimes it's because your paint color, so there is such a thing as a warm shade and a blue shade in just one color. This could be considered warm or cool. I think this is a little bit more on the, actually we should probably look at it here. This is kind of in between. Sometimes they're a little bit more cooler, like the red here. It could be a little bit more on the cool side, which tends to be a little bit more bluish. On the color spectrum there, it can be a little bit more cool, or it could be a little bit more warm. This one I'm not quite sure. I guess it's a little bit more it's kind of right in between. The Flag Red in Apple Barrel is definitely a little bit more warm. On the warm side, I almost dipped into that. I don't want red yet just yet. But anyways, I'm just trying to explain the reasoning why you might not be getting quite the color that you want when you're mixing. And it could have something to do with the paint color being more on the warm side or the cool side. And that can kind of make a big difference actually. Now for his hat and his scarf, let's make them a green. So what makes green? What can we use to make green? Tell me now, tell me. What can make green? Yes, yellow and blue. All right, so I washed my brush out really good. We're going to do the black, this little penguin guy. We're going to do the black last. So let's make his scarf, or maybe his hat. Let's make his scarf. Let's make his scarf green. All right, so let's pull out just a little bit. Okay, you know what? Not the greatest green. It's kind of an avocado green. We'll just go with it. I could have kept playing around and maybe even making it a little bit darker, but I don't have too much time. I'm trying to make this quick. Just to give you the idea. All right, well, let's do a different color for his hat. Let's see. Let's try to make a purple. Let's try to make a purple. We haven't used this color combination yet, so I'm going to pull out some red and a little bit. Oh, can you see what I'm doing? Okay, yeah. Just a little bit of blue. Let's see what we get here. Now, I think I already know that if I wanted a prettier purple, I might have wanted to use a more cooler red than a more warm red. This one's a little bit kind of hard to tell. I guess this one is a little bit more cool. Let's see here. This is kind of a weird. Yeah, that's why purples are kind of hard to make, and it's because it's whether your red is a cool or a warm shade of it. And that can make a big difference. Okay, now we got like a magenta. Well, we could do magenta. But I'm trying to make purple. And if you're trying to make purple, you want to make sure your blue is a dark or like a regular blue. As primary as you can get it. But the red is what kind of makes the difference. Here, I'm gonna add some more. I'm just gonna add a lot more blue. Let's try this. All experimenting here. Now it's very blue. Add a little more red. Sometimes people find this very therapeutic, just mixing the paint colors. I find that with kids too sometimes, especially little kids. They don't care about their canvas. They just want to mix the paint on the plates, and I just let them go for it. One time I had this little kid, he just started using his hands, started just mixing it all. And it must have been, kind of a sensory thing for him. So just had to bust out a lot of wipes to clean them up. All right, so because my red is a little bit more on the warm side, and I think that's why I'm getting more of a warm kind of a purple here. So if you're kind of getting a little frustrated on trying to get the right color, it makes a difference whether the colors that you're mixing are warm or cool. All right, now I have a lot of paint on here. I need to size down to a smaller round brush, I think. All right, this is going to be kind of an interesting. color palette here, but we're just doing we're doing a challenge. All right, we're doing a challenge. Might not be the colors I might actually pick to do this, but this is for the challenge. So see how this is kind of a warm color? You know, this almost reminds me of a purple Otter Pop. the grape Otter Pop. Remember the Otter Pops? Well, even just the generic ones. It's kind of this shade of purple, sort of. Alright, it's okay if I go into the black here, or where it's going to be black, so I don't have to be too careful there. Alright, so that's how you paint that shade of purple. Might not look too great on the screen. Kind of looks really weird. I'm not even sure if you're seeing it as a purple, because I'm not on my screen. But it is a shade of purple. Okay, now we need to make his feet orange. So how are we going to make orange? What are the two primary colors that we're going to use to make orange? I know you know. It's red and yellow. All right, so now you can see why I've been just kind of pulling paint off the side, so at least I have some here. I meant to pull the yellow first, but that's okay. That's okay. We're just pull from the side. We don't need too much, and that was probably too much red. Let's add in some more yellow, lighten that up a little bit. There we go, we're getting somewhere. Maybe a little bit more. For his little feeties. Oh, and his beak too. His beak's going to be orange. Okay. All right. Get his feet in there. That made a nice orange. I'm pretty happy with that. I think that's because the red was already more on the red. Not the red. The red was a little bit more on the warm tone, and orange is a warm color, so that was easy to do. All right. Okay. What other colors can we make out of these? We mixed blue and white to make a lighter blue. We mixed red and blue to make a purple. We mixed blue and yellow to make a green. Oh, we need to make let's make like a pink. All right, well, how can we make pink? Well, pink, as you probably already know, is just a lighter shade of red. Let's put it up here. The pink will go okay on the, I need to make more. I need to make some more. That is not enough. Oh, I don't want to hit that purple. All right. Make some polka dots up here. Oh, it's going to be a little challenging because that purple is still wet. Might not want to stick. It's definitely going to look like a little kid did this. Something else. Let's see, what else do we need to make? Well, while we're thinking, let's just go ahead and fill in the black for the penguin. For the body, the shadow shade, instead of using black, the best thing to do is to use the opposite, the complementary color. and you just add a little bit of that to it, and that will make a better shadow color or better darker color of that color than black would. Black kind of tends to make colors a little bit flat when you add black to it. But say you have something that is blue and you want to make a darker blue, you add the complementary of that, which is, and I always have to think about what the complementary color is of blue. Is it orange? I think it's orange. I think. Yeah. You add a little bit of that, the complementary color, the opposite color, and that helps make a better, darker shade. But that is for another tutorial. Maybe let's see if we can get a darker green. Let's challenge myself and see if I can get a darker green. All right, I'm gonna need, oh, I don't want to hit that orange there. Okay, let's see how dark we can get. Oh yeah, we can get pretty dark here. All right, okay. Yeah, I needed something either darker or lighter for his scarf. Let's see what we got here. There we go. It's almost like a teal color. Why did it do that? Maybe because that yellow is more on the warm side. All right, now he looks like he's floating in the air, doesn't he? So, she, I'm gonna give it something for it to stand on. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a little cellulose sponge here, dip it into my white, I want to go back in with a paint pen or a Sharpie or something and do a little outlining there just to kind of pull things out, or you can leave it as is. Usually if kids are doing this, they're like, no, it's good. I don't need to outline it. They're just there for the experience. Sometimes they don't really care what it looks like. It's just the experience. It's the process of painting. And that's the main thing, right? It's the fun of it. All right, so if you think of something else I could have done, let me know. Let me know in the comments what other colors I could have done. I'm sure there are so many other ways that you could be mixing colors. And like I said, it does make a difference on whether your colors tend to be more on the warm or the cool side. That makes a big difference on how your mixing is going to come out. So thank you so much for joining me, and go watch the other people in this playlist. I'm sure there's others that are doing a much better job than I did, and see how they are mixing up their colors. And I'm sure some other people are doing other mediums, not just acrylic paint, and go check them out in the playlist. So if it doesn't automatically go to the next video in the playlist, go back to a Common Canvas YouTube channel and look for the what's it called, Limited Paint Palette, and see what they have come up with. I'm excited to see what they do too. Thank you for joining me. Bye.